We are joined now by South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson, who helped prosecute this case. Good morning to you, Alan Wilson. It's really good to talk to you this morning.
It's great to be with you this morning. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, I'm thinking you all are having a pretty good day, Mr. Wilson, but even you guys had to be surprised by the speed of the return of the verdict. The jury did not ask for any rereading of testimony. They didn't ask to see any evidence. When you heard that the verdict was in less than 3 hours, what did you think?
Obviously, it felt like that was a good sign for us, but honestly, at the end of the day, the quickness in which the jury returned the verdict of guilty is a testament to the hard work of the men and women of law enforcement and the Attorney General's office, and I want to give them all the credit for a job well done.
Do you think Mr. Murdaugh's decision to testify, to take the stand, do you think that helped or hurt him?
I think it hurt him 100%. I think ultimately it hurt him in the end. You know, this is a person who had spent his entire career, it was very successful, made millions of dollars making closing arguments to a jury. And I guess in the back of his mind, he probably believed that this is his opportunity to make his final closing argument. You know, he's been manipulating people for decades, lying and manipulating to get his way. And I feel like he could do this to the jury. That's probably what he was thinking, but it blew up in his face.
Do you find it ironic that if we hadn't had that tape, if you all hadn't had the tape, where you could hear Mr. Murdaugh talking in the background when he said he wasn't on the scene, that the tape came from his son? Do you see any irony there, that at the end of the day, it was a tape from his son that really was very damaging against him?
Absolutely. You know, that tape down at the kennel video, that famous tape of the dog tail wagging, and you hear Paul and Maggie and Alex's voice in the background. To me, that was kind of, as one of our attorneys argued in closing, that was Paul testifying from beyond the grave. Look, my dad was there 2-3 minutes before we were murdered, and it was his way of testifying from beyond the grave. And one thing I do want to say, I've seen a lot of documentaries out there, a lot of talking heads. I know they're making movies and people are talking about this. But at the end of the day, 2 people were brutally murdered and gunned down in cold blood, and a family was destroyed, and a legacy was ruined. And I just want to remind people about that, you know, we didn't enjoy going through this process because there were a lot of lives destroyed by Alex Murdaugh. And so at the end of the day, I want people to focus on the lives that were destroyed, not as much about Alex Murdaugh.
All right, Mr. Wilson, thank you very much. And again, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you so much.
Attorney General Wilson, we thank you for your time this morning. You can see more coverage of this verdict on a special episode of 48 Hours, the trial of Alex Murdaugh. That's tomorrow night at 10, 9 Central, right here on CBS. And on our streaming service, that's Paramount+.